Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Thursday evening Facebook Live. My name is Sarah Edwards, and I come to you guys live every Tuesday and Thursday to show you a fun new project. Sorry, I think I just got something in my eye. But good evening. Hopefully you guys have had a great day. I won't lie, today's project I did this morning before my oldest daughter picked me up to go do pedicures and manicures and lunch. And I literally just came out here about 5 minutes ago to make sure I had everything prepped, and I kind of really didn't. So hopefully we are still going to have a great Facebook Live and make a super cute, fun, fancy fold card tonight. And I'm using the same set as I used on Tuesday, the prettiest pumpkins. I thought that coordinated really well with the designer series paper that I picked. And I love fall, but sometimes like the fall colors aren't my thing most of the times because I'm a bright color girl. So I decided to use, sorry, there's a little gnat. I decided to use a little bit softer colors, but still incorporate the pretty pumpkins. So it actually has a multi-use for it. So good evening, Heather. Good evening, Susan. So the kids literally just left, and I actually think there's a few kids still left in the house. Cassie, Antonio, and the baby literally just left like 30 seconds ago. And then Troy just showed up, and Peyton, Natalie, and Tanner are in the house cleaning up from dinner. So we have quite the chaos going on inside, but it is nice and quiet out here until the kids decide to come out and say hi to everybody. They just might do that. Who knows? But I am going to go ahead and point you down so we can get crafting. We have a super fun card for you. Let me just bring my camera in. There we go. So like I said in the beginning, I made this card this morning before Peyton picked me up to go out for my birthday day. And I really wanted to put a sentiment on there, but I realized when I came out 35 seconds ago that I didn't get a sentiment on there, but it's okay because I actually still think it's absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to show you how to wrap this twine around the card to have your bow off to the side, and it's kind of a fun fancy fold. So that is what we are going to be playing with tonight. I'm just going to make sure I heard, oh, there it is. Nope, that's not it. I just want to make, there it is. Just want to make sure we were live and ready to go. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Barbara. Yes, exactly. It is definitely chaotic here. Okay, so these are the pieces that you're going to need. I went ahead and stamped and die cut the pumpkins. And, oh, hold on. I got to point you up. Hold on. Let me bring this in. There's a visitor that he is going to say hi to everybody. This is my Facebook Live. This is Troy, Natalie's boyfriend. He just brought me flowers. Aw, thank you. I'll see you in there in a minute.
I think they're coming in.
Okay, I guess the rest of the kids are coming in as well. So that was super sweet. Okay, let's get crafting again until somebody else opens the door. Sorry about that, but I like unexpected surprises. Okay. So the card base you're going to need, this is 4 1/4 by 7 inches, and you're going to score it at 5 1/2. So you're literally going to have a 1 1/2 inch score mark along the edge. You're going to grab your bone folder, give that a good crease, and we're just going to set that aside for a minute. And we have 2 pieces of designer series paper. You could really use either side as your focal point. I am going to stick with the original design and have these 2 sides as my focal point, but you'll still be able to, when you flip your card over, you'll be able to see both sides of the designer series paper. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and attach this. This is 4 inches by 1 1/4. So we're going to grab our adhesive. Thank you, everybody. I know, Bo's like, are you canceling your Facebook Live? It's so late. And I'm like, nope, we're going to do it. And I hear my door opening again. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me scoot you back up. It's going to be one of those days where I get to see everybody. Come on in. This is Peyton.
Hello.
This is our middle daughter. This is our youngest, Natalie. And Peyton's husband, Tanner. So say hello to all of my friends.
Hi,
You're going to
guys.
be on YouTube because I'm going to transfer this to YouTube once we're done.
Hi, YouTube.
Yes. Okay.
Love you.
Bye. Love you too.
Bye, love you too. Happy birthday. Happy
Thank
birthday.
you. Okay. So that was my entire family. Now we just need to get Bo to come out here. Okay, let's go back to crafting. Sorry. Thank you for being patient. Okay, so now that we attached our 1 1/4 inch strip, I am going to come in, and I don't want this butted up all the way to the edge. So I'm just going to scoot it out a hair so it kind of has a little gap right here on the edge. And then this is what's going to get glued down. Oh, and then my phone rings. It is going to be one of those days. So I'm just going to take some adhesive, and I'm just going to put the adhesive right here on top of the designer series paper. And I'm going to hold that down. And because Tombow does give you a tiny bit of wiggle room, I am going to hold it down for an extra second or two. So there we go. And that should be good. So like on Tuesday's Facebook Live, we are going to bring in our piercing mats. So I'm going to open up my card base. You don't want to do this while it's closed because you'll poke through the entire card. So make sure you open it up, and then you're going to grab your little poker tool, and you really can just guess where it's going to go. And I'm not going to leave this in. I'm going to go ahead and remove it. I obviously, as you can see, I did not measure that perfectly, but I just kind of tried to get it in the center. And if it's not in the center, nobody's going to say anything. So now we have our card base. So let's do the ribbon before we do anything else to the card. So we didn't have any Calypso Coral ribbon, so I decided we should make some Calypso Coral ribbon. So I have the Whisper White ribbon pack. I'm trying to get that gnat. Hopefully you guys can see that. And I just have a piece of scratch paper right here. So I'm going to take my ribbon, and I'm going to take my dark Calypso Coral blender pen, and I'm just going to color it. You definitely want to make sure you have something underneath your ribbon while you're doing this, because it will bleed. But it will color your ribbon any color you want. So if you're going to make this card into a, let's see, what color ribbon don't we have? An old olive. I don't think we have an old olive ribbon. So you could do this really in any color you want. Even if we do have the color ribbon, but you don't have it in your stash, don't fret, because you can just make your ribbon. And I don't know how much I'm doing. I probably should have measured, but I'm going to do quite a bit because I want a nice size bow. I'll just do a tiny bit more, and that should be good. And I'm using the edge of my blender pen. I'm not using the tip of it. I'm just rubbing it with the edge. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that off. We can put that aside and use it for something else. Now with this guy, I actually have made a couple of these cards, and you can definitely get your ribbon through this hole by using your piercing tool. But what I thought was actually it was a million times easier, is to grab a needle that has a bigger eye. I actually think that's what they're called. And this feeds right through it. And now you can feed your ribbon and not have to worry about it. And it was super easy to thread that. I wouldn't use one that has a small eye on it, especially if your eyes are bad. You're going to get super frustrated. And now your ribbon is through your cardstock. So I'm just going to try to make this as even as possible. And I am going to start just like I'm tying my shoes, tying laces. And you really actually need an extra hand when you're tying ribbon. So I brought in my little hemostat. I think that's what it's called. Don't quote me on that. And I am now just going to use that to hold my ribbon in place. And now I can tie my bow. And you can make your bow as big or as small as you want. But I actually thought this was a super fun fold, so I want it to be pretty big. Let's see if I can get that bug. And I just got him. Thank goodness. Let me wipe my hand off, make sure I don't have any bug guts on there. And we can take that out. And then you can trim up your excess. So it actually just adds a little bit of character and fun to an everyday card. And when you open it, now we can just decorate the inside. And it really is not a hard card to make, even though it looks a little bit intimidating. It really isn't. You just need your piercing tool and some ribbon. So I'm going to glue that down, and I glue that down first because I want to make sure that I'm going to line this upright. So I'm going to pull this out of here. I just want to make sure it's covering the edge of the basic whites. And that looks pretty good. And then I'll show you how we did the pumpkin. And this is going to be a super quick live because we are only making this one card. It was a bit of a chaotic day, but it was an amazing day. I got to hang out with Peyton most of the morning, and then all the kids came over and Bo cooked dinner, so that was super nice. Okay, so let's bring in the pumpkin. Now, usually the rule of the thumb is you don't use your blender pens unless you're using Mementos ink. But if you're super quick, you can use regular ink with your blender pens. You just can't diddle daddle when you're coloring. You've got to like quickly color. Okay, let's flip this over. So I'm using the light Calypso Coral, and I just, ooh, that doesn't look very light. Oh, it does. Oh, that's Cajun Craze. Oh, I brought the wrong one. Okay, hold on. I actually think I do have, I do. Okay, so I do have another light, but it is, my tip is a little hammered. That's why I decided to grab the other one, but we're going to make this work. So I'm using the light Calypso Coral, and I'm just going to quickly color these pumpkins in so the ink doesn't start to bleed. And that's funny because I think I did, oh no, I did use the other one for the ribbon. So the ribbon is Calypso Coral. Sometimes they look so close on your shelf. And I just actually got some new blender pens. So I was like, oh, I have a new Calypso Coral. I'll use that one. But I grabbed the wrong one. Okay, so I just quickly colored in the pumpkins. And then I have my light soft succulents. So I'm going to come in and do the little leaves. And I just wanted something light and cheery for this card, and not our typical fall colors. The dark fall colors, I should say, because this is still definitely fall colors, just the lighter version of the fall. So there's that. And then I have the light soft suede. This one's a little hammered too. And I'm just going to come in and do the stem. So I think this is probably the longest it took was to color these pumpkins versus making the fun fold. So there you go. So let me flip that over, grab some dimensionals, put a few on the back. We're going to put one more up here. It's probably overkill, but that's okay. Here we go. I'm going to set that right in the center. And I am actually going to use the bottom piece of our scrap because I did bring over the sentiments. Well, I hope I did. Oh, yeah, I did. I did bring over the sentiment and the Calypso Coral ink, and I do want to put a sentiment on this one. So I'm using the same stamp set as I used on Tuesday. I love the saying, if friends were pumpkins, I would pick you. Cassie was asking me in the house what I was doing for the Facebook Live, and I couldn't exactly remember how the saying went. And I was like, something friends and pumpkins. And she's like, you better go out there and read what it says because you can't mess that up. I'm like, you are so right. So this one, I usually don't fussy cut the sentiments out, but I think I wanted to on this one. That's what I actually wanted to do on my original card as well. Just because I didn't want a circle or triangle, I just wanted just the sentiments, just a pop. So I'm literally just not really doing much but following kind of the shape of the stamp. And I'm really just winging it, if you want to be honest. Sometimes we have to in life, right? Okay. It's hard to talk while you're fussy cutting because I don't want to cut off the wrong words. There we go. Finish this Y off. Flip that over, add a couple dimensionals to this guy. Nope, that one's going to be too big. Let me grab a mini. Put this right there, and then a mini one. Perfect. Peel these off. And let's not put this on upside down. But I actually think I like it. Make sure if I put it up here, actually I think I like it up there better. There we go. And it's still on the designer series paper, so it didn't poke off the top. So there you go. There is your super cute fun fold using the piercing mats. And remember, I try to keep just one where I use the piercing tool with, just because it gets a little bit hammered. And that's how I made the little holes in for the ribbon to go on the side. And I definitely still would put a little bit of adhesive on here. It wouldn't have to be super strong adhesive because the bow is going to hold that in place as well. But I would definitely put something on this side just so it isn't wobbly. But yeah, there you go. So here's the one that I did without a sentiment, and it's still super cute and super fun. Like, you wouldn't have to put a sentiment on it, but I really wanted to use a Friends Were Pumpkins, I Would Pick You. So there you go. Thank you so much for being patient with all the kids and everybody coming in. I totally appreciate that. I'm going to head in the house and make sure that Bo is not going crazy, finishing up cleaning the kitchen and feeding our puppies. So anyway, I will be back on Tuesday. If you guys need anything, please feel free to reach out. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.